Good morning and welcome back to the Guide to Buying Your First Home series. And I'm very excited to introduce our inspection expert, Jeff Gollaher. And Jeff, you are the owner and operator of Full Circle Home Inspections. Is that correct?
That is correct. And thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm really excited to have you because, the home inspection is just a little bit of a process that we just go through as a first-time home buyer. And today I'm hoping to dive a little bit more into that so we get a really great big picture of the process.
Excellent.
So Jeff, first, let's just get started by how did you get started in the inspection industry?
Well, I grew up in a construction-based family. My dad was commercial and residential construction, and that was my summer job for most of my life. And then I was doing a lot of handyman work, and my brother was a local realtor here at the time, and he said I would be perfect for the inspection industry because he wasn't very happy with his current selection of inspectors.
Mm-hmm.
So I took his advice and studied and received my certification and then started my business. And shortly thereafter, I joined INTERNACHI, which is the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors.
Mm-hmm.
And started working smarter instead of harder.
Nice. I think that's the goal for any business owner, huh, Jeff?
Exactly.
And so tell us a little bit about Full Circle. How long have you been around? What type of services and inspections do you offer?
Excellent. Well, I started Full Circle Home Inspections roughly about 7 years ago. I am the owner-operator. I refer to myself as an independent inspector.
Okay.
I like being independent versus a franchise because it gives me a little bit more freedom on how to.
And how does that benefit the homeowner, Jeff?
Well, it gives me more flexibility to provide a service instead of being in a rigid business plan.
Okay.
So it gives me much more flexibility to accommodate my customers and what their needs are.
Okay. And in the grand scheme of things, okay, first we put an offer on that house, right? And we're in escrow, and now we're getting our inspection. So what are the 2 to 3 most important tips you have someone looking to understand about the process or what to look for in a home inspector?
Okay. Well, I would probably start with don't be afraid to ask questions.
Good advice.
Right. This is your time to learn the home. That's what your inspector is there to do. My little motto I like to share with people is I like to educate instead of intimidate. So I'd like to inform people. Knowledge is the best way to make an informed decision. Do your homework as well. Learn some general things about the way a home functions.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you look to purchase a home, a short sale, foreclosure, bank-owned, whatever it is, get a home inspection.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, a realtor will provide 3 companies as a random list or a selected candidates. Call them all and then some if need be. You want to talk to people and you want to see who you're going to be comfortable with and who's going to provide the right service for your situation.
And I think you bring up a really good point. I think trusting that inspector and knowing they're going to provide you with some quality information and a look inside of your walls, that's a really big relationship right there that you would have with the homeowner.
Correct. Yeah. No, it's a huge thing, and that's probably my biggest niche, I think, is the trust and the personality of the home inspector. I try to come across as friendly as possible and provide a service that I would like myself if I was buying a house.
Yeah, I think that any homeowner would appreciate that.
Right.
And, when we're talking about asking questions, what are typically the 2 to 3 most common questions that homeowners don't ask that you think they should ask?
Let's see. That's a tough one. Really, you want to talk about the certification of the home inspector, how long they've been in business, that type of thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then what does it take for them to maintain their certification? My association requires me to do 24 hours a year of continuous education.
Okay.
Which is a great thing. It keeps me fresh, keeps me on top of the latest trends and things like that, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is participation. Some inspectors don't like the consumer to participate. I encourage participation. I would like the person there while I'm doing the inspection so that I can actually explain any sort of issues, deficiencies, safety hazards, or anything like that.
And point things out as you're going around.
Exactly.
Nice. So, say Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they're looking for an inspector. They don't know, they're not really comfortable with the inspector that their realtor chose for them. Besides you kind of already touched on this a little bit, but I would really appreciate if you would elaborate. Besides the education, what should they look for, and how should they go about selecting the right inspector, basically?
I think it comes down to a lot of it's a lot of like contractors. Call 3 of them, call as many as you can, and choose the one that you feel comfortable with, and the one that's going to supply you with the good information and not make you feel uncomfortable or intimidate you in the process of throwing out unfamiliar terms or something like that. The big thing is really the certification. What does it take to be certified? Participation is my big thing. And then what exactly is included in the inspection? A lot of inspectors will upcharge you for different aspects of the home, whether it's a pool inspection, a crawl space, things of that nature. I'm doing thermal imaging inspections now, which is more on the energy efficiency side, which is definitely a trend that is starting to happen because we're wasting so much money in this country on energy costs. So that's a huge thing that's going to be starting to come around. So these are different options or services that could be available for certain clients, and the inspector needs to make them aware of it and give them the opportunity to choose.
Nice. Like you said, educate instead of intimidate.
That's
Love
right.
it.
Yep.
Love it. So if someone's coming into your house and throwing all of these industry terms around and not making sure that you are really understanding, that's probably not the best inspector for you.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're not going to walk away with a good sense of how your home functions or how it works or what the issues are and maybe how to solve them, then it might be a little intimidating to move forward.
Nice. And then just as a little bit, just going down the path, besides, buying your first home, you touched on this a little bit with the thermal inspection. When are some other times in a homeowner's life when they would need an inspection?
Well, there's actually quite a few. I also offer 11-month home warranty, so for anybody who buys a new home, generally they have 12 months for the builder to take care of any big issues right off the bat. So I'll do an 11-month warranty and come in 1 month before that warranty expires so that they can take advantage of that opportunity with the builder to resolve any issues or correct any sort of issues. Pre-listing, pre-purchase, home energy audits. So once you do take possession of the home, if you want to know ways to reduce your energy costs monthly, I can do that, as well as remodeling. If you got a contractor doing a job and you want to make sure he's doing it right, call an inspector and then have a different set of eyes look at it. Also, new home construction. If you're buying a new home and it's being built to suit, then the different stages of the construction process are also a great time to get an inspection done.
Nice. I did not know that, Jeff. That's really great information. Now, when we're moving forward with an inspector and you're coming in maybe in a remodeling phase, are you able to provide the homeowner with a quote on the phone, or do you need to come in and check out the situation before you can give them a quote for your inspection service?
Generally, the quote works off of the square footage of the home. That'll generally give me a good idea of how long I'll be there, how in depth, say, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's generally in the 1,500 square foot range. That takes roughly a good hour, hour and a half, depending on the condition of the home. But if it's new construction, it might just be the rough framing and the rough electrical. So it would probably be a little bit quicker. Of course, it would still equate to what services are being provided, and then I would, adjust it accordingly.
Good. Now, I really appreciate your expertise, and I think that you did provide us with that great window inside the inspection world. And knowing that, if education comes first, and it's really important to know your home, this is going to be a home that you're going to plan on being in for a while, it's really important that you know the ins and outs, especially whether it be a new home or an older home.
Right.
So thank you for that. Is there anything else you would want to add to someone who is buying their first home when it comes into the inspection process?
I would say don't take it lightly and be diligent.
Good.
Love
whether
choosing an inspector or dealing with an inspector. Be diligent and participate and ask lots of questions. Knowledge is the best way to make an informed decision.
Great advice. And this is our biggest purchase of our life at this point, right?
That's right.
So better take it serious.
Exactly.
Thank you for being on the show today, Jeff. Our listeners are in the process of buying their first home, and if they have any questions or want to learn more about you, how could they get in contact with you?
Excellent. Well, it was a pleasure being on the show, and I love to talk about home inspections. It's been a passion of mine. I can tell. You can call me at 916-202-1353, or you can visit me on my website, it's a long one, but it's www.fullcirclehomeinspections.com. And you can also email me at info at fullcirclehomeinspections.com. And I'd be happy to answer anybody's questions if they ever wanted to contact me. Information is free and services cost.
Nice. Thanks. I appreciate it. Well, Jeff, you just have a great day, and I appreciate you being on the show today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you much.